Raise your hand if you go shopping for groceries. Raise your hand if you take them home using the plastic bags given to you at the grocery store. Raise your hand if you ever reuse those bags. The majority of grocery bags each consumer takes home is stuffed into the pantry or under the sink. They'll most likely never be used again. It's so easy to feel guilty after bringing home groceries and piling up the bags, knowing how much plastic is being wasted. We, consumers, are constantly bringing home plastic grocery bags and stuffing them somewhere in the house. All of us are contributing to the problem. They're ending up in oceans and landfills, contributing to the deaths of sea animals and toxic air pollution. Plastic bags aren't vital to the environment, so why are we overusing them? I started buying reusable grocery bags to reduce the amount of plastic that was being taken home. It feels good knowing I'm making a difference by doing something so small and making simple changes. Plastic bags are made for one use, carrying groceries to the car from the store and into the house from the car. Single-use plastics are becoming more dangerous with time. Animals are dying and toxins are entering the air at an alarming rate. Research shows that every consumer is contributing to the problem, but there are ways to prevent this. I propose that each state bans the use of plastic grocery bags completely. This will force consumers to purchase a reusable bag to carry their items without wasting any of the plastic they were before. It'll save so many lives on land and in the sea. The problem is that plastic grocery bags fall into the category of single-use plastics, and it's happening all over the globe. Not only is the earth getting hurt from this, but so are the animals. According to Myskowski, in a book published in 2011, she states that every year Americans throw away some 100 billion plastic bags after they've been used to transport a prescription home from the drugstore or a quart of milk from the grocery store. It's equivalent to dumping nearly 12 million barrels of oil. Grant states in a book published in 2011 that plastic particles are not thought to be toxic themselves, but they attract and accumulate chemical poisons already in the water, such as DDT and PCBs. The worry is that these plastic pellets and associated toxins are traveling through the marine food chains into the fish on our plates. Also in a book published by Grant in 2011, he claims worldwide, according to the United Nations Environment Program, plastic is killing 1 million seabirds a year and 100,000 marine mammals and turtles by entanglement. Grocery bags are one of the most common plastics floating around the earth, contributing to these deaths of the animals. The animals are dying from our utilization of frequent single-use plastics. Consumers are the only way to fix this problem. The problem is that although some states have created the bag ban, customers are still able to pay a small fee to use the plastic bags, which seems to disregard the entire ban in the first place. There's also inconsistency with which products are allowed to be taken out of the store wrapped in plastic. The causes of this problem is that plastic is cheap to use and stores don't have other materials for takeout products. For example, in an article published in 2020, Dwayne explains plastic can be used for uncooked meat or fish and other products that could contaminate items, weighed produce, and prescription drugs. This describes the state of New York and how they've contributed to reducing the use of single-use plastics. The problem affects us all because the state of Arizona is continuing to supply the grocery bags. The bags we take home from the store end up in landfills and become litter that ends up in the lakes and rivers. Arizona prevented any city or town from outlawing anti-plastic movements in 2015. The fact that we're still using these plastic bags because of a preemption made 5 years ago is unsettling, considering animals and the earth is still continuing to deteriorate over time. Although sea animals in the earth are being hurt from the overuse of grocery bags, there are some solutions at preventing deaths and toxic chemicals entering our bodies. My solution is to promote more awareness in our community to fight for the state to prohibit plastic bag use altogether. Our communities need to recognize how extreme the effects of bags are for the planet. In February, New York State Governor Cuomo created a campaign called Bring Your Own Bag New York to prepare citizens for the extermination of the bags. On Instagram, there's over 500 posts with the hashtag, confirming social media users got the message and were ready for the change. This tool seemed to be effective in the way that they educated the population for why the ban needed to happen. Consumers can easily use their canvas totes to bring home their groceries from the store. In an article published in 2020, authors Grant and Simko Bednarski Quote Jim Calvin's words as he claims the only choices for a customer who forgot a cloth bag will be to buy a reusable bag on site, which might cost $1 or more, or carry out their purchases in their arms, which makes a convenience store an inconvenience store. The fact that states aren't passing laws because it's inconvenient is extremely selfish, especially considering animals are dying and the earth is being polluted. I believe that with more education and awareness of how serious plastic bags are, more people will actually be willing to make the change. I truly believe consumers are able to make a difference, but their daily routines of using single-use plastics needs to change to actually save the animals and our ecosystem. Let's review our problems again and the ways we can fix the ongoing issue of plastic bags. Plastic bags are constantly being used for groceries and clothes purchases, but end up in landfills and oceans. The bags are being littered and swept away in the wind, causing entrapment and even death to animals on land and in the sea. These grocery bags are typically single-use, making them a bigger threat to our planet. Animals don't have to be harmed or die when they're a waste to prevent it. To prevent any more damage to life on Earth, we need to educate more people on how dangerous single-use plastics can be. We can contribute to a statewide campaign, and as people gain knowledge on the issue, the state may reconsider. We need to cease our selfishness in our routines and begin using reusable totes for groceries. This is the easiest change we can make, so there's truly no reason as to why we can't change for the planet. Do you want to make a difference? Do you want to see how simply bringing a canvas bag to a store can completely change how animals in the sea live? Let's put our selfishness aside and think about how humans are destroying our planet. Let's put our planet before us. The next time you bring home a grocery bag, I want you to think about if it was actually worth it. Or you can plainly use a reusable sack. What's your excuse?